Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone, for this Doom live thread, live stream. Okay, you can see my mess now. Okay, yeah. So welcome everyone, and let's share my screen. Touch screen, and I prepared slide because it's quite a unique occasion. Hello, everyone. And we are going to talk about this very, very nice Doom.PDF. First of its kind, and it's very clever in many ways. It's very interesting. It's both in its simplicity and a few tricks too, and I call it V1.PDF. But this logo, there is a Doom that is 1.666, and it may look like 3.6s. So just Doom PDF. Okay, so yes, someone created Doom in a PDF. That's true, and that's Alan Aiding, and the it's public and open source and everything. It is pretty clever, and it's awesome. And a consequence of being awesome in 2025 is that someone created a fake profile under his name and to scam people with a fake crypto money or whatever. This is awesome too. That when you are awesome nowadays, then people create a crypto scam with your name very quickly. Okay, whatever. So yes, let's try because it's real and it's great. So this is the file, and let's make it small. And it should start. It should start. Yes. And you have to click here in the cover. You have to click. Oh, it won't be. You have to click here. Type here for keyboard controls, and now you can use the keys. You shouldn't use the. Oh, let me type. New game. I actually started speed running it a bit. The controls are a bit clunky, but it works. Okay, no sound, of course. And again, as I said, the controls are not super responsive. The frame rate is not there. But that's Doom, That's the Doom we know and love. And I finished some levels and so on. Let's see. No, it doesn't. Sometimes it's very slow to catch the key for some reason. But it works, and that's pretty awesome. And we will see why and how it's really clever. And I would like to finish the level, but will I have the time? I mean, before you're bored. Still, let's see. Can I? There's a zombie here. Yes. Can I run to the other side? Yeah, as you see, the visibility is not super clear. We'll see that later. It's great that they found a way to still display this kind of stuff. I mean, we are in a PDF after all, so let's not complain too much. And I swear I will stop after I finish the level, but it's Doom, so it's addictive. And oh my god, violence. I should have warned that this let's finish this level. And I can't resist. But yeah, it's not the best speedrun ever. But come on, you're supposed to. Oh, I'm too far. Yes. Okay. I finished the level in Doom under a PDF. It's awesome. And I'm happy as a Doom person. I have my Doom t-shirt here. I mean, my own Doom t-shirt. And now let's stop this to save a few cycles. But yeah, we'll go back to this file, which is pretty awesome. So that's our slides. And I took a few frames in case it didn't work out with the video. And so yeah, it works. And yes, it's playable. And so if you are not so first, it's not so intuitive. You have to click on the type here for keyboard controls. You never have to type enter, because otherwise you lose focus. You cannot use arrow keys, and you don't press two keys at once. It's a very limiting control, but still it really works. And the thing is, like, it's based on the Doom generic, which is the easily portable Doom, which is on GitHub too. And this gives a different kind of, you may a bit smoother, a bit better graphics. But basically, this is what made it possible. Uh, and actually, there are very few differences in code. That's pretty nice. So this Doom generic is very, very, very make it super easy to port to a new platform. You only need to implement a few um, functions, and in this case there was already available an mscriptem, so to be compiled to native JavaScript. So yeah, that's the engine behind the PDF Doom, but that's not all. And maybe you wonder that, hey, the graphics are not exactly the most beautiful. And why? Well, it's if you see the previous streams, then you might know why, but still it's a very impressive trick. So if you look at a single frame and you zoom, for example, then you see that the rendering is in pure text. And now if you have good eyes, you can see that not only it's pure text, but it's not monospace. So because here you have double slashes, and basically, yes, it's actually using a 6-character char sets, because you need the same width even though it's variable size. And basically the thing that the eye of the Doom guy is made of slash b sharp slash and so on. It's pretty difficult to get characters with the sets with the same width in a variable with text and reliably over a complete image, right? It still looks okay. So this is a very, very clever trick to be able to display something. So that's because in JavaScript in PDF you cannot really do graphics. You can only do text or buttons. And here it's text fields. Oh yeah, I should restart the Almighty Doom script again, just for a one time, for a few seconds. It's because each of these, it's rendered as a single line of text. You can see that when I'm clicking on a line, it's highlighting. I'm not sure if it's very visible, but when I click on a single line, it selects the whole line of text. This is a bunch, 200 lines of text that are filled to mimic the rendering of the picture of an actual game running in native JavaScript. It's pretty crazy. It's really it's awesome. So yes, so it's a variable. No, so basically it's variable size ASCII art, which is unlike most ASCII art, and it's doing that live. And it's oh, that's a mistake here. 200 lines of text fields, because that 320 by 200 lines modified on the fly. And now there are obvious more limitations. It's Chrome only. It has the kind of special rendering that you noticed, and it doesn't have any sound. Of course, sound in PDF is hard, so I would be surprised if they manage to even get some sound properly working. That could work, but yeah, in general, playing any media in PDF is super clunky. And no network, because there are possibilities of network connection, but I doubt it will work. And in the end, you're just typing in a text box, right? I don't know if you have the time to notice, but when you're playing, you're just typing in one keyboard, in one text field, and basically this is how you control the game. You are actually entering text, which is why you cannot type more than one key at once. You cannot use Control or Alt, and no arrows key either. Hi, bonjour, Spoon Bomb. Spoon Bomb. And yeah, now let's explore the file, because we are done with the standard slides. And hi, Suni. And let's explore the file. So the URLs are here. And now where should we start? Yeah, so if we look at the repository, as mentioned, it's based on the generic on the Doom generic, and I compared the code, and there are only very few differences. In the dmain.c, there is this extra wipe active to avoid wiping the first frame. So it's like there's only a few lines of difference of code in the whole source, and then there is an extra dedicated JavaScript handling in the C source to respond, to communicate with the PDF JavaScript. But that's a single file of 100 lines. So it's like the difference with the Doom generic is like very minor. It's and again, there is nothing like super tricky there. I mean, I'm not saying it's not clever, but and maybe it's there. No, okay. If I remember correctly, the one of the only other thing that was different, the original Doom is not on Doom generic is not in 320 200 pixels, but that's the resolution that is used in PDF Doom PDF. You could probably do a lower resolution one with higher frame rate, but I'm not sure frame rate would be the problem, right? Because it's not. Would the slowdown come from displaying the text, or because the computation would be likely the same? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. You feel free to try. So now, what else? Well, I guess let's look at Doom PDF, and so that's the original Doom PDF, and I will do a full introduction on the as if I didn't do the other streams before, just for the full walkthrough of the file, because it's very elegant and clever. But if you want, we will also use, I haven't mentioned in previous streams, QPDF. QPDF has a QDF mode. It's a bit confusing. So QPDF has a QDF mode. And when you do a PDF in QDF mode, it's actually, we will see it's kind of beautified, and it's commented out, and it's pretty, it makes the PDF very, it modifies the structure of the file, but not the content, and it organized the file in quite a nice readable way. We'll use that later, but for now, let's just focus on the actual original Doom PDF. So like a standard PDF, it starts with the %PDF, then the version number. Then it has these weird bytes. The % is a command line, so everything until the rest of the line will be ignored. These characters and the next lines are not ASCII, so basically they are here to tell don't transfer this as pure ASCII. So it's a way to make sure that the text editors and file transfer are done correctly. Now a PDF is parsed bottom up, so we need to go at the end of the file. We have the % end of file marker, and just before that we have a start xref with a pointer with a value in decimal. This value is actually the pointer of the offset of where the cross-reference table, xref table, is there. And if I scroll up and select, I will see that indeed 6496651, and maybe there's a mistake somewhere, but that should be the pointer to the xref table. Now, as we see we see that the xref table only have 5 entries, which is extremely small, and this file is beautifully compact. It's made by hand, really. I mean, almost generated from scratch, and it's very unusual to have a PDF that has only so few objects, so few entries in xref table. And the first one is F as in free, so it's not in use. And so basically you could just ignore that one. It just has to be there, which is why this PDF, a Doom PDF, Alan made Doom run on a PDF with just a PDF of 4 objects, and a PDF of 4 objects is, I mean, even very easy to do a PDF with more objects than that, like a hello world. So it's like very impressive. I mean, it's possible to do less, of course, but it's really very low. And as you can see, the first values here, so these are the generations of the PDF of the objects, and we don't care. The N here means that the objects are being used in case we would skip a slot in the object counter. That's object 1, that's object 2, that's object 3, that's object 4, and that's the offset in decimal in the file. So you can see that offset, the object 1 will be at offset 15, which matches here the number I see, selection 15. And you see that the object 2, the declaration of the object is this syntax 10 obj, with the number of the object, the number of the generation, which is the same number as you see here in the table. So the object number, the generation object, and the end object finishes with the object finishes with the end object keyword. Do we have any questions? No questions at this point. So now you see that already we just have the 3 objects very close from the file. And if you remember, we just have 1 object left for everything, basically. This is quite crazy. There will be 1 object for everything, Doom, and the whole functionality, which is really crazy, I think. It's beautifully compact in a way, and yet you see that there is stuff in clear. So you can now tell that there is be 1, 2, 3, and then object 4. Oh, that's the size. No, that's just the size. Let me yeah, that's the offset 62, 62. Okay, so there will be, there will be a second object. Okay. Oh, I have a crash. Oh no, I don't have a crash. Okay. So now, of course, now we need to, so we have this object 3, and this is an additional action, and this is additional action on open. So basically here, the root, after the xref, we have the trailer, which declares the root, the start of the object tree, which defines a reference to the first object 1, 0, with R, that's a reference to one object 0, to object 1 generation 0, and size is the number of objects in the file, in the document. So now we go to object 1. Object 1 declares an object as object 2. It declares that it's the pages, a sub-element, and the type, that's a declaration where this is a dictionary, so this is the key, this is the value. So this is the key type, and the value for key is catalog. So object 1 is of type catalog, and references object 2 for its pages. Now the pages object here only contains 1 object, because the count, the one sub-object, 1 kids, because the count is set to 1. And here, this is the kids array, and this is an array, and the array, the only element, and the first and only element in this array is reference to object 3, and the type of this object is pages. So that one was catalog, this one was pages. And now we have our first page, and our first page starts with declaring an additional action, that's AA, and /O means on opening the file. And on opening the file, what's the action on opening the page? Sorry, on visualizing the page. So if we would add more pages before, this script here would only be executed when the page is, we scroll to the page, when the page is valid, is open. And now we have quite a start of JavaScript for the file. And what is interesting, we recognize the function key pressed to here the handling of the console. So the console is this small. The console was this small area here where you see the messages of the game. So the handling of the console, and how the keys are pressed, the handling of the keys pressed. If the keys are down, if the keys are up, there are events for either of them. And then message for the input box, write the file. I'm not sure why that is required. Create a frame buffer, basically the value where you're gonna store the text, the rendering, the display, basically the text display. And here it's very nice that it's readable in code, is that we see the way that it converts the colors to actual characters. And you see, note these ASCII characters were all picked because they have the same width in the sans serif font that Chrome decided to use for text fields. So basically, if we would come with a better way to display things, we could improve it right here. That's how the it's taking the average of the three colors, and it's just replacing that with in a grayscale way with 6 different sets of characters. Now there is a function for base64 because we will see base64 data right here. And here, as you can tell, this is Doom.1.1.wad, which is going to be a long array. And this is just a complete WAD file of Doom shareware. So this line is going to be very long, but in our case, it's just a single line. So let's remove it just to make the navigation easier. And now, well, we need to, here it's the same. We're going to have very, very long code. So here, if you look here on the corner just next to me, next to my picture, sorry, I'm just going to move here, you can see the amount of bytes I selected. And you will see that suddenly I selected 44 bytes, and suddenly I selected 2,200,900, whatever, a huge number. So basically, these lines that look quite small are just actually the whole Doom source code being compiled with mscripten. So exactly that would happen with the other implementation of Doom, like this again. So this part here is not specific to Doom.PDF. And now, so all this is specific to Doom generic and not to the Doom.PDF. And now we go back. Let's remove it just to make scrolling easier. And now we have a lot of annotations. And annotations here, what do we see? We see a lot of fields, annotation of the type widgets. And what's special here is that you can see a lot of them, and indeed all of these are the text fields that will be used for the rendering the display. So 200 of them, only 200 of them. And now after the 200th, now we just have very similar structure for the console lines. And basically, again, this is the very clever way that was used to display a screen in text in a PDF via Chrome JavaScript, which is, again, super clever, and it's great. It's just great. And now we have the 25 lines of console. And then we are almost at the end of the file. Now we just have so that's additional action, and that's where is it? So that's the type here for keyboard control, and that's the events for when you press down or when you press up. When you press down, what happens? This is a JavaScript. This is a JavaScript script because it's specified here, and here is the execution. You call the function key down, and on /u, which means on key up, then you because that's I forgot to mention, but this game also works with the buttons. So you can type, or you can also use the buttons. That's true. So you could likely play that on a tablet. That's true. So this is what happens for the button, when you press down on the button or when you press up. So again, the same thing for just every button. V button, and it's even having proper naming, so very clever code. And now we're just at the end of the whole JavaScript part, and this is just a very small declaration of text for the content that are displayed on the screen. So the Doom.PDF controls and all these things that are displayed on the screen This is just, so object 4 is referenced here. Where is object 4 reference? In the contents of the page, because this is still our page. These are the dimension of the page. This is the declaration of the font to be used in that page. It doesn't have any embedded font, so it's just using system font, like here, Courrier. And this is the parent object, because this is a kid, right? Remember, there is a kid parent relation between the pages object and the page object, and this is a page object as shown here. Now we are object 4, which is the content of the page. So basically, this is using a PostScript-like syntax where you have the arguments before the operand. So this is a begin text. This is asking for a text font, and the font name here is this one, Courrier. So basically, it says, can I use the font F1 with size 24? Now this is cursor coordinates moving to this X and Y coordinates from the bottom, because why not? And then displaying the string Doom.PDF. So this statement here, and ET means end of text. So this statement here defines the Doom, renders the text in the document. And now you see that it's just using the same syntax. String literals are written in parentheses. This is a URL. Nothing special here. There is no handling of the URL, but I expect that. So you see that the address, the web address, is just displayed, right, as pure text. There's nothing fancy, no link declaration or anything, but nonetheless, the software will, I assume, even create a link just because they detect that there is something that is called HTTP. See, there's no animation of any kind, and yet it was able to turn my cursor into to change the cursor. So, but it's just a viewer trick, and it's not in the PDF document. And now we finish, and incredibly, the file is over. So basically, of course, I skipped the whole bunch of code that was generated by compiling Doom generic with Emscripten, but that's all there is. And from a PDF perspective, it's like very elegant, very small, very well done. It's impressive. It's clever because of the text rendering trick. It's a great file. And if we look at the repository, let's see. Where are you? Doom PDF. The build.sh is that's the whole build script for the file. So Emscripten core with the branch and getting, it's like, it's very small, right? And generate is using a library that I don't use usually, but it looks very nice. PDF RW. And with PDF RW, there is this Python script that just creates the very minimum of the file. And when you saw how lightweight this PDF is, I mean, in the previous stream, we just looked at a very much simpler game. I mean, it was not the whole Doom, but from a PDF perspective, the PDF was much more complex. And you can see that with the way it is generated, this is really compact and easy to master, to understand, to modify. So not only Doom generic, the whole Doom PDF was generated because there is a lot of complexity that is done already in Doom generic, and then even the PDF is very easy to understand, to explore, and to modify. So really, if someone comes up with a new, it would be very easy to regenerate another PDF with a smaller WAD or with new features. It's really brilliant. It's a historical PDF in terms of what it does, but in how it's done, It's really, really nice. And the fact that it's 99% Doom generic for the whole Doom part is just makes it even better. Like I was really impressed when I start to explore this file. So do you have any questions? Hey, Le Bonnet. Oh, I've been talking for 29 minutes. Okay, so that's all I have for this. It's just remember these tools that are so PDF RW. Usually I use PyMu PDF, but it looks like it's good, especially because here it's useful to make a small, tiny file, even though it's a Doom PDF file. I'm still amazed by this. And if you want to support me, here are some my Patreon and sponsors. I don't manage it very well, but if you still want to support me, and if you have questions, do you have questions? I see no questions. If you have questions, let's do them now. So if you have, in the meantime, I will just go through the QPDF file. You see that everything was aligned in a better way, in a more readable way. It's just exactly the same. Of course, it's a lot more to scroll, but it's a lot easier to navigate. So QPDF with QDF parameters, when you want to learn a PDF, it's pretty nice. It's really beautifying everything. Definitely worth a look. So this doesn't rely on WASM at all. No, no, no. So it's pure as a native assembly. It's a WASM. It is not supported by Chromium anymore. So now it's a question from Spoon Bomb. So now it doesn't. It's not using WASM, and WASM is not supported in PDF anymore. It was for a short period of time when WASM was born, but they stopped doing that, and it was only Chromium. Uh, question from Le Bonnet: how compatible is it with other PDF readers? To be honest, I think it only works because the efficiency of the Chrome JavaScript engine makes it work at a good frame rate. I'm reaching 20 frame rate. And you know what? Let's try right now. This is how it looks in Adobe. I'm not sure something is even started. So you see all the 200 lines. You see the 25 lines of console. I have no idea if the script is even running. But anyway, all these text-based games that we saw last time during last stream, for the people who weren't there, I'm just gonna open a few other ones. So let's see. That was Tetris, which is based on buttons. You want to have control? Oh yeah. So you see that PDF trees, and you see that PDF. It was done before. PDF trees was done a few weeks before Doom PDF. So you see that the similarities of implementation, except that this time it's not text, it's buttons, and there is also the much older Breakout. And Breakout is quite nice because it's using a large amount of vertical objects to detect, and on mouse over events to detect the position of the mouse. So it's actually playable with the mouse. And to refresh the screen cleanly, it also has a giant text box that is using that refreshes instantly the screen so that there is no graphical bugs. And even though if the screens, these files are much simpler than Doom PDF, they don't run at all under Adobe. And they crash Adobe. Nice. Is my Mario in PDF? My Mario was just JavaScript, so anything in JavaScript should still work, I think. But again, the JavaScript engine of Chrome is likely much more efficient than the others. So yeah. you need probably a lot of optimization to execute so much, and jitting to execute so much stuff and still have a 20 frame rate, a 20 frame per second rate. Yeah, and the question from Le Bonnet, my Mario in PDF, it was when I presented 11 years ago at 44Con. I did a polyglot, and I used, I think, our ambiguous file, and I also put a Mario in JavaScript, but this JavaScript Mario wasn't mine. So basically, I assume that anything, I mean, at this stage, it quite proved that anything that runs in JavaScript would run in in a PDF under Chrome. So, which is also why I definitely wanted to make this presentation, to this live stream now, because the Chrome author could say, "Hey, this is too much. We are," because now maybe people are gonna. I won't be surprised if someone boots Windows or another Linux or something, because at this stage you could maybe run everything as long as it's compiled in JavaScript, native JavaScript, for in a PDF. So I won't be too surprised if they stopped supporting these features in the future, because maybe that's not what was planned. If Doom becomes a gaming platform, I want a Game Boy emulator would be much more meaningful, I think. Accept HTTP requests? Well, I don't know. There are possibilities to send requests via JavaScript and so on. Um, but I'm not sure they could be done in real time. And yeah, but be my guest. I will make a stream on your proof of concept when you do such a when you add networking to Doom PDF. Okay, so thanks a lot for your attention. I had a great time. It's again a very impressive proof of concept to visit. Uh, I tried Le Bonnet, try HTTP request in JavaScript inside the PDF. Okay. Uh, then we need a vulnerability. But maybe that's outside of the scope of a PDF. Maybe. Okay. So thanks a lot for your time. And yeah, I hope you had fun. And definitely it was fun to present this completely impressive PDF. Great job. And historical consequences. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. So, yeah. See you guys. See you, everyone.